Hello everybody, welcome back to another Botania tutorial. Today's tutorial we will be having a look at a few different things you can do with luminizers. Nothing's going to be too mind-boggling, it's all going to be pretty simple. So how about we begin? Firstly, the luminizer can be thought of as a transport device in Botania. You need to have first gone to the end to be able to get some ender air to make these, so these aren't really early game. But what you do is you create a luminizer. Once you've created a luminizer, you can shift right click with the wand of the forest and go around to place another luminizer. So I'll just place this other luminizer here. You can see it's still connected as long as I haven't right clicked that away. So I can shift right click that, and now that luminizer is connected in this direction to this luminizer. So what we'll do, we'll just right click, so you can right click with an item in your hand or just plain right click with an empty hand. And you'll see that we'll travel between the two luminizers. Another thing is, you can connect another luminizer to this. So this distance right here is actually 20 blocks, which is the limit of two luminizers. So we place the luminizer down there, we'll connect this one up to this luminizer we've just placed, and you can see that when we do actually use these luminizers, they change. So we'll go through the one, and through the other one, to the end luminizer. You can also do a few other things. So you can chain one from here, for instance, and connect it up to this luminizer here, and then that'll allow you to go through this one here, to this one here, to this one here, so you can have them all at a specific endpoint. You can also chain one over here, and for instance, make an infinite loop between two. So let's connect that one, then we'll connect this one up to here again. So now we've just connected these two to each other, and you can see that they are both connected. The fact that those aren't connected is not really important because they'll just come around there. So if you do create an infinite loop, for instance, so we right click on that, you'll see we'll just keep going back and forward like that. And say we wanted to get off one of these, so all we have to do is shift like that, and we're off the luminizers. So it's pretty simple, just L shift to dismount. It actually says it on your screen there, and pretty simple to do that. Now another thing with luminizers is they allow you to travel through blocks. So if I've connected one between a block and another block, so if I come up here and this one is connected down, when I right click on this, you'll see I'll go through that. Now we can also do it through walls, but one thing you have to keep in mind is that when you do go through blocks, you do take damage. So I'll click on this, and you can see we do take damage while we're going through blocks still. So that's something to keep in mind. Now another thing to keep in mind when you're placing luminizers around your base is you'll see if I connect this one around here to this luminizer down here. So what we're doing is we're traveling uphill almost with the luminizer. So we'll right click that, and you'll see that we actually fall through the ground. And that's because we're traveling up through this block over here, and it doesn't register us as on that block. So what the better thing to do when you're traveling up is to simply shift right click on that one, put your luminizer above where you'd normally put the luminizer on the ground, so one block above, and now you'll see when we do go through this around here, right click, and we're still fine. Another cool thing with luminizers is you get something called a redstone luminizer, which, as you can see, it's actually called a detector luminizer, sorry, but as you can see, these two redstone lamps come on as we go through there. So I'll go through it again, and I'll do this. So when we right click on that, both of them pop off, and we go into my head. Now, another thing with luminizers, which is an add-on to luminizers, is this thing called a luminizer launcher. What happens is when it gets a redstone signal and it has an entity on it, be that an item, a player, or even a mob, it'll transport that mob or item or player along the luminizer path. So let's drop some of these day blooms on top of that. You'll see every time that gets a redstone signal, it shoots one off that way. So you can use that as a way to transport items around your base. You can just drop your items onto a luminizer launcher, send them on their merry way, and let them get picked up by a hopper hawk on the other side. You can also move around, for instance, zombies. So when that gets a redstone signal, the zombie goes. Normal passive mobs, like sheep and cows. Now you'll see when the sheep is next to it, same as when there's a day bloom next to it, that won't get picked up. It only will work when they actually are on top. You can also do it with, for instance, an iron golem, but because they're so big, you'll just have to bump him in, and he'll even go. So that's some pretty cool stuff that works with luminizers. So if I jump on there, just quickly to show you that it also works with me. Pretty simple. I get moved. So that's all you really need to know about luminizers. Now you can go ahead and try some cool things with it. Try to get that redstone working for your advantage. You can, for instance, have that redstone luminizer, well, detector luminizer, sorry, which is right around there, open up a door or send some sort of signal out when you do go through it. So that's something you can really play around with. It's really up to your imagination. I think that does it for today's tutorial. If this does help you, which I hope it does, leave a like on the video. Also, leave me a comment if you've got any questions or if you just want to say hello. Also, just to let you know, I have got Twitter, so if you guys are interested in getting a hold of me or just seeing what's going on, follow me on Twitter. The links are in the description and should be coming right after this. Thank you very much, guys, and I'll see you next time.